teams that almost signed star players before they were big. Back in 2013, Chelsea were looking for new defenders and had their eyes on a tall Dutch center back named Virgil van Dijk. At the time, Van Dijk was playing for Celtic in Scotland, and even though he was dominating the league, most people outside of Scotland barely knew who he was. But what happened next is honestly kind of shocking. You see, Chelsea scouts actually watched Van Dijk closely and thought about signing him for around £10 million. He was strong, fast, and could even score goals as a defender. But even though there was some interest, Chelsea's coaches weren't totally convinced. They thought Van Dijk made too many mistakes and that he wasn't right for the Premier League. But the way they made their decision is something fans still talk about today. The thing is, Van Dijk's style at Celtic was so calm and confident that some scouts thought he looked bored on the pitch, as they didn't realize he was just that much better than everyone else in the league. And on top of this, there were some doubts about how good he really was, since many scouts didn't rate the Scottish League highly, thinking that Van Dijk may not perform nearly as well in the Premier League. So instead of taking a chance, Chelsea decided to pass on him. But what happened after Chelsea said no is what really hurts. As it turns out, just a couple of years later, Van Dijk moved to Southampton, and that's where he started to show everyone how good he really was. He became one of the best defenders in the Premier League, and Liverpool ended up buying him for a record-breaking £75 million. But the craziest part is what Van Dijk wouldn't achieve. What I mean is that Van Dijk didn't just become a good player, he became one of the best defenders in the world, winning the Champions League and Premier League with Liverpool, while all Chelsea can do now is wonder what could have been. But I post videos like this one every single day. Follow if you want the algorithm to show them to you.